Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and another great question just came in today, a little bit more specifically about twin blocks and recall visits and a little bit more about design. And I have a ton of content already on twin blocks. You can go ahead and dig into the Phase 1 playlist, or if you take my Phase 1 course, if you want to access my Phase 1 course, you can go to my website, Straightsmile Solutions, go to classes, go to Phase 1 course. I believe it's 13 or 14 units, price point's around $500. That's just about $35, $40 per unit. I do have a few promo codes left. Can't promise I'll still have them at the time this is published, but hit me up with an email or a message on my website if you'd like to give the promo code a try. I believe it's, I don't want to say how much it is off, but it's a pretty good chunk of change off. I don't run that program, so if you have a problem with it, you're always going to want to ask CE Zoom all your questions. All I did was create it. And market it. But anyways, the question specifically is about twin blocks. I love me a twin block. Twin blocks are great. Obviously, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and tell you everything about twin blocks because I have a ton of content already on it and a class. But just a couple specific questions of things that weren't specifically maybe addressed in my previous videos about twin blocks. In terms of design, there's a zillion different ways to design a twin block. Remember, a twin block helps to grow a lower jaw in a patient that is mandibular deficient and still growing. That's your job to find out if they're mandibular deficient or maxillary prognathic. This is for mandibular deficient. Two different ways you can be class 2. It's also your job to find out if they're still growing. Don't just take their word for it. You must do the work, because if they're not still growing skeletally, you're not going to get a good result. You're not going to get any result. It's a waste of everyone's time. So that's what a twin block does, but it also can be modified. Just like you soup up a car or soup up anything else or modify or customize something, it can do way more than that. So what else can you do? I have a couple examples here of twin blocks. One thing I notice is when you go to order it from a lab, and I do have some content about how to design a twin block, what boxes to check, etc. Each lab is gonna have it a little different. They're gonna call things differently. So if you're not sure, you need to give them a call and tell them specifically what you're looking for in that case. I want to position the jaw forward. Now, some labs are going to require you to say exactly how you want it set. In general, a twin block is you're going to take a bite registration, but you need to ask them how they want it. And you're going to set it to edge, because you always want to overcorrect a little bit. You're not actually going to get that. And there's always going to be 20, 30% of relapse. So, but if the child is like crazy deficient, like 5, 6, 7, 8 millimeters deficient, that's too much of a jump. Okay. Even Invisalign, when they do their MA, and you should definitely take their courses and all their, before you do twin block, if you're an Invisalign provider, and if you're not, everyone should be, because there's so much you can learn from their education. You can go into their educational section, both digital and live. A lot of it's free, and learn all about MA. It's the exact same concept as twin block. They basically lifted and recreated the twin block to make it CAD/CAM technology and 3D printing and built into an aligner. That's what it is. It works the exact same way, same features, same concept. So if you understand MA, you'll understand twin block. So that's a really easy, free education if you're already an Invisalign provider. But they can do it in increments and steps too. It's just too much strain on the joint, too much strain on the muscles. So you may have to do it in stages, which may mean more than one appliance. So I want to keep that in mind. So call your lab guy, your OrthoLab guy knows exactly what to do. I just let them do it, whatever they think is best. I kind of tell them what I'm looking for. So that's one thing, about what type of records do they need? I don't know what type of records they need. You got to ask your lab guy. It's a 6 millimeter overjet, it's a 4 millimeter overjet, it's an 8 millimeter overjet. Ask them, do I need a bite reg? Should I set it to edge? Some people set it to 2 millimeters advanced. I think that's weird. It looks stupid, and it's unnecessary. But anyways, okay, so that's the first thing. Other thing you can build into a twin block is you can build in a transverse screw. You can see there's a transverse screw here, there's one here, there's one here, okay? Those are in cases where there's crowding, and might as well kill two birds with one stone. If we have a deficient maxilla transversely, or just, a mandible that's just kind of crowded because it got trapped because the maxilla was deficient, then we want to go ahead and widen those. Of course, I've got tons and tons of content about expanders and Schwartzes and RPEs. So of course, you're going to want to either take my course at Straightsmile Solutions for Phase 1, which is about $500. It's about $40 per E40, $35 per unit. I have some promo codes. Email me if you're interested, and I'll send them to you. I don't run the course, CE Zoom does. So if you have any questions or concerns about the course, you'll want to contact cezoom.com. But in any case, we go over all kinds of expansion stuff. But what I'm trying to say is you can kill two birds with one stone. If your patient has crowding, why not also build a jack screw, a transverse jack screw into either your upper or your lower or your both of your twin block. And how much you're going to turn that jack screw? Well, it's just like turning a Schwartz. It works the same way. I don't know. know how much. It depends on how your patient does. It depends on how well they do their turns. It depends on how compliant they are. Everyone reacts differently. Just like you do with the Schwartz. You're going to go ahead and have the patient wear it, turn whatever frequency they need to do. And I've got tons of videos on turn frequency. Of course, that depends on their skeletal age and a lot of other stuff. So have them come in for their recalls every 3 to 4 weeks, and then you can decide if you need more turns or not. That's how that works, okay? So I don't have the answer to that. What else can you do? Well, you can see here on this one, they're doing some molar distalization. Like I said, there's so much blingy stuff you can put in if you needed to. If you had maybe they had early loss of A and J, upper E's, they got pulled, oops, they didn't do space maintainer, now we can distalize. Of course, that's gonna depend on the position of the 7s or 2 and 15. Can we distalize? Can't always do it, there's a timing thing on that, but you could do that if needed. Now remember, a twin block is always gonna have an acrylic block. That's why it's called twin block. The position of it is gonna depend a lot on how class 2 the patient is and what you're trying to do. Is it an open bite or a deep bite case? The lab will design that depending on what you're trying to do. Twin blocks are very, very good at opening a bite. Sorry, I said it the other way around. Closing a bite because of the acrylic that goes on the back teeth, depending on how much you put on, okay, or how little you put on and how many teeth it covers. The intrusion effects of the acrylic biting down and then intruding the teeth will help to close a more steep mandibular plane angle. Now, it's not going to fix an anterior open bite due to habits or tongue thrust. That's a completely different way of having opening a bite. Closing a bite, I keep saying it backwards, closing a bite. For people with steep mandibular plane angles, long face, dolichocephalic facial profiles, that's a big word. That's good for twin block, okay? What it's not so good at is deep bites. If you're trying to level a curve of SPE, fix a low angle case, extrude molars and premolars to level a curve of C with relative extrusion, it's a crappy product for that. It's not good. It's not good. It's going to make it worse. So you really got to pick the right case. Will I do a twin block on a short face, low angle, deep bite case? Sure can. It wouldn't be my first choice. There are better appliances for that, and I have content made on that. But you could always do that afterwards in some braces or some Invisalign, not a problem. So just remember, it's not a one size fits all fix. And in order for it to work, it has to be worn 24 hours a day for a good 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 months. I mean, it's a very long haul. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to wear it. If the patient's not wearing it all the time, it's not going to do anything. So even if they're only wearing it 18 hours a day, it's not going to do anything. So you have to make sure you pick the right patient and they understand this is a complete waste of time if they're not actually wearing it all the time. And no, a twin block is nothing like a Mara, a Forcis, what are all those Carrier. I mean, no, it's completely different. It doesn't work the same way. I don't even like those, and you can see all my content on why I don't like those and why they're different. But you guys are getting confused. You guys are thinking that they do the same thing. No, they do not. So twin blocks are great. They're low budget. You can probably get them blinged out, customized for about $300, $350, $400, maybe less, depending on the lab. You can shop around. Make them fun. Make the patient want to be proud to wear them. Just remember that the side effects are going to be, when you're done, we want to stop when the patient has an edge-to-edge bite, when they're slightly class 3 almost, edge-to-edge bite, because you're going to relapse a little bit. They're going to get a posterior open bite in the middle, wherever the acrylic is. You can trim it down over time. Nothing wrong with that. And in theory, if you had a deep bite case, you could flip it over and trim it from the inside, which would help those teeth to erupt. So that is totally fine. It's a lot of modifications, a lot of customization that needs to be done, a lot of recall visits. It's not going to be a one-size-fit-all approach. You're going to have to finish in Invisalign, in ClearCorrect, or braces. This isn't going to do everything. You could use this for phase 1, not a problem, but then you're going to have to do a phase 2 later. Or if this is a comprehensive case, this isn't going to fix everything. It's just going to fix some of the stuff. So, but that's pretty much it. I love me a twin block. All right. Thanks so much.